Hello, welcome to this lesson on externalities. Externalities are side effects of private market actions that end up positively or negatively affecting the rest of society. So, if they positively affect the rest of society, then we call them positive externalities. This means that the free market is going to be producing less than the society optimal quantity because it is not considering the external benefits. And if it ends up negatively affecting the rest of society, then we have negative externalities. This means that the free market is producing more than the socially optimal quantity because it is not considering the external costs to the rest of society. If the socially optimal quantity is more than what the free market is producing, that means we have a positive externality and that we are going to be underproducing what we should be making. We should be making more, but we're making less. This is going to lead to deadweight loss because we are underproducing this item. We should be producing more of it since society wants more. If the free market is producing more than the socially optimal quantity, then we are overproducing. This is because of a negative externality. We're making more than society wants. This is again going to lead to dead weight loss. There are two sides to the externalities on top of positive and negatives. We have externalities that affect consumption. This means that the marginal private benefit is not equal to the marginal social benefit. How are we going to fix this? Well, if there's a positive externality, we're going to use a per unit subsidy on consumption. And if there's a negative externality, the government's going to use a per unit tax on consumption to fix it. For production externalities, this means that the marginal private cost is not equal to the marginal social cost. How is the government going to fix this? Well, if there is a positive externality, the government should use a per unit subsidy on the production of the item. And if there's a negative externality, the government should use a per unit tax on the production of the item. Here is a positive consumption externality. We know it's a positive consumption externality because the social benefits are more than the private benefits. So society wants us to produce more than the free market is currently producing. Since the free market is producing less than what society wants us to produce, we're currently underproducing. We're making less than what we should be making, so we're ending up with this dead weight loss right there. How are we going to fix this? Well, it's a positive consumption externality, so we're going to use a per unit consumption subsidy to make it so that we produce at the socially optimal quantity. Here we have a negative consumption externality. A negative consumption externality is shown here because the marginal social benefit is less than the marginal private benefits. So here, the quantity that society wants us to produce is less than the quantity that the free market is producing at. So free market is currently overproducing this item, leading to this dead weight loss. We're making too much of it. So how are we going to fix this? We're going to use a per unit consumption tax to make it so that we instead purchase at this level right here. Here we have a positive production externality. We know it's a positive production externality because the marginal social cost is going to be less than the marginal private cost. So, because of that, we are producing right here, but society wants us to produce right there. So, we're currently underproducing, we're producing less than what society wants us to make. So, we have this dead weight loss right there. We're going to fix this using a per unit production subsidy to be able to shift the production to the society's optimal amount. And then here we have a negative production externality. Negative production externality means that the marginal social cost is more than the marginal private cost. So this is what the free market is currently producing. That's what society wants it to be produced. So we are overproducing. We're making more than what society says we should be producing, leading to dead weight loss right there. How are we going to fix this? We're going to use a per unit production tax over here to reduce the amount that is being produced back to the socially optimal quantity. That's all for this lesson. See you next time.